Caitlin Clark just slapped Cheryl Reeve in the face with her third consecutive Eastern Conference Player of the Week award. Yes, the very same Reeve who ignored her brilliance, left her off the Olympic roster, and now find herself buried under the weight of her own choices. This wasn't just a victory for Clark, it was a symbolic moment, a reflection of how one player's rise can completely dismantle the credibility of a coach who once refused to recognize talent. Clark's revenge was swift, merciless, and oh so satisfying. Became and Clark has been named Eastern Conference Player of the Week for a third straight week. You ball, and should I write out an image of different to rookie year already? Is the rookie of the year and a lot of your mitts agent even outbreak what the answer? She's the worker year now. Was a close race leading to until the Olympics, but right now he's on pace to generate the most points in WM history from scoring, and it says that over 37. Give that woman our trophy and sell to enjoy. No, we have to compare. I don't know, I think people feel like you have to compare because she's done some great historical things too, but these numbers are undeniable. They're in the playoffs for the first time. I think that's 2016. We have to make a captain's Caitlin Clark rookie the day. You go to stop asking me on Twitter to yeah my them the week. We haven't seen these kinds of numbers. Book on more. Just take a look at this. Her season splits before and after the Olympic break. He never breaks, usually going to cause you. Went from if she was like I'm cool with no us day. Saturday night's All-Star game left the basketball world in stone disbelief. Team USA under the leadership of Cheryl Reeve were supposed to be unbeatable. They were the cream of the crop, the best of the best, but there they were crumbling under the pressure of Team Bort, the team led by none other than Caitlin Clark. The player Reeve arrogantly left off the Olympic roster. This wasn't just another loss, it was a direct assault on Reeve's credibility. What kind of coach, each with all that talent, allows her team to be steamrolled by a group of so-called non-Olympians? The defeat wasn't just about basketball, it was about hubris, bad judgment, in a complete underestimation of Clark's fire. What made this defeat even more painful for Reeve was the undeniable context. The Olympic team, supposedly representing the absolute pinnacle of talent, was the thrown by players who weren't even deemed good enough for the roster. Imagine that. Cheryl Reeve, who thought she could do no wrong, who thought she knew better, was schooled by the very player she snubbed, and who was at the forefront of this humiliation. Caitlin Clark. Oh, the irony. Fans of the Indiana favor in basketball, lovers alike, pointed out the obvious. Reeve's decision came back to bite her, and Clark's revenge was glorious. Cheryl read getting her ass kicked by Clark and the other Olympics nubs. His art, wrote one fan, and the internet wasn't shy. The comments flooded in mockery was relentless. Cheryl Reeve's soap is Caitlin Clark is the best point guard in this game. Another fan gleefully pointed out the basketball gods have a twisted sense of humor. It seems Reeve, the supposed easily unshakable head coach, was now the subject of ridicule, and the downfall was nothing short of spectacular. It was as if the entire basketball world gathered to watch her fall, and oh how far she fell. But Clark was only getting started, and her masterful performance at the All-Star game was about to become the defining moment of the season. But Clark wasn't just satisfied with proving a point, she wanted to make history, and that's exactly what she did. With 10 assists, she didn't just perform, she dominated. Her name is now etched in the All-Star game record books as the rookie with the most assists. Clark was playing with a mission, and that mission was to dismantle Cheryl Reeve's credibility piece by piece. Every pass, every assist was a dagger in the heart of Reeve's judgment, and to think she could have had this brilliance on her Olympic team. The game wasn't just a loss for Reeve, it was a direct indictment of her coaching philosophy. How do you explain leaving out a player who led her team to victory against your own squad? Clark wasn't just playing for Team Bomber, she was putting on a clinic. And alongside Angel Reese, they delivered a resounding 1171 line. When let that score sink in. These weren't Olympians, these are players who were considered not good enough for the global stage, yet here they were walking all over Team USA. Fox's message was crystal clear: I belong here. And Reese's oversight was nothing short of a colossal wonder. What made this moment even more poetic was how Clark single-handedly shifted the narrative of the All-Star game. It wasn't just about winning, it was about rewriting the story that we've had tried to craft. A rookie setting a new assist record, leading a team of so-called rejects to victory at the stuff legends are made of, and in that moment Clark was not just a player, she was a force, a narrative destroyer, a reckoning for Cheryl Reeve. As Clark's performance continued to dazzle, he became clear that even the brightest stars on Reeve's team couldn't prevent the inevitable. Let's not forget that Cheryl Reeve had to have the most dominant players and the game at her disposal. Breanna Stewart dropped 31 points. AJ Wilson contributed 22 of her own. These are just good players, they're some of the best in the world, yet even with these powerhouses Reeve couldn't hold it together. The combined efforts of Stewart and Wilson couldn't make up for the glaring lack of cohesion and leadership the team they displayed. It was a band-aid on a broken bone, insufficient and destined to fail. Team USA, the juggernaut of women's basketball, was now limping to the finish line, heads hanging low as they prepared for their journey to Paris, but what awaited them there more embarrassment perhaps. Cheryl Reed's coaching, once untouchable, was now being questioned from every angle. Could she really lead this team to gold, or had she just sealed their fate by leaving Caitlin Clark out? In the cold, the world was starting to wonder, and the cracks and Reeves' leadership, or widening the contrast between Team USA and Team On Board, couldn't have been starker. While Stewart and Wilson fought valiantly, the rest of Team USA looked lost, disjointed and unsure of themselves. Meanwhile, Team Mamba played like a well-oiled machine. Every play had purpose, every pass had intention, and every player seemed to understand their role perfectly. It wasn't just about skill, that was about teamwork, something real team sorely lacked, and as the season progressed, Caitlin Clark's brilliance would continue to shine brighter than ever, overshadowing the mistakes of her doubters. As if the defeat wasn't enough, Caitlin Clark continued her jaw-dropping performances in the On by cementing her place as one of the lead brightest stars for the third consecutive time. Clark was crowned Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Her stats nothing short of breathtaking: an average of 25 points, 10 assists, and 7.7 rebounds over 3 games. Triple-doubles became her signature, and every game she played was a testament to her dominance. For Cheryl Reeve, watching Clark collect these accolades must have been like rubbing salt in an already gaping wound. The player she dismissed as not ready for the Olympic stage was now the face of the On, but rewriting history with every game. The basketball world was watching, and Reeve was watching in agony. Every award Clark received was a reminder of Reed's catastrophic miscalculate. Been winning Player of the Week is an achievement, winning it 3 times in a row. That's a declaration of war. Clark wasn't just playing basketball, she was laying waste to every doubt, every naysayer, every person who thought she wasn't good enough. And the bitter irony for Reeve, she had the chance to capitalize on that talent, and she blew it. But Clark wasn't finished, and her chase for more historic achievements only added to the weight of Reeve's regret. The Caitlin Clark isn't done, not even close. She's now on the verge of breaking yet another historic record with just 53 points to go. Clark is closing in on Simon Augustus' rookie scoring record, a feat that would further solidify her legacy as one of the great as rookies and On by history. The same player, Cheryl Reeve, doubted, is about to rewrite the rookie record books, and there's nothing real can do to stop it. Clark's averages 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, 5.8 rebounds per game aren't just numbers, they're statements, bold declarations of replacing the On by pantheon. Every point she scores, every assist she dishes out, is another slap in the face to Cheryl Reeve. Every time Clark steps on the court, it's a reminder of the monumental mistake we've made. Clark's reign as one of the most dominant players in the league has only just begun. She's not just a shooter, she's a leader, a playmaker, a game changer, and as the season progresses, it's clear that Caitlin Clark's name will be etched in on the history. For Reeve, the only legacy left is one of regret. As if that weren't enough, Cheryl Reeve would fight, only be forced to confront the talent you overlook. It seems defeat finally broke Cheryl Reeve's iron facade. After dismissing the hype around Clark, after pretending she didn't care, Reeve finally had to admit what the rest of the world already knew: Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, calling her a future Hall of Famer, praising her impact on the game. Reeve's about-face was as predictable as it was embarrassing. Cursing, but the damage had already been done. Reeve's credibility was in tatters, and while she may now try to sing Clark's praises, everyone remembers her earlier dismissal. "I don't give 2 shots," Reeve had said. Well, now those words hang over her like a cloud she can't escape, and you better believe she'll be reminded of them for a long time. Reeve's change of heart came too late. The basketball world had already seen Clark dominate week after week, breaking records and leading her team to victories. What was once indifference has now turned into forced aberration, but the damage is irreversible. Cheryl Reeve's reputation has taken a hit, and while she may now recognize Clark's greatness, the basketball community will forget how she missed it in the first place. As Caitlin Clark continues to soar, one thing is certain: her story is just beginning. Caitlin Clark's journey is just beginning, but already she's left a mark that Cheryl Reeve will never forget. 3 Player of the Week awards in a row, records shattered, and a future that seems brighter than ever. For Reeve, the spotlight is fading, but for Clark, the stage is hers, and she's ready to own it. The world is watching, and one thing is clear: Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a phenomenon, and her story has only just begun.